Hey, welcome back to another episode of Silent Hill. We're back at the hospital for like the 5 millionth time. Go ahead and save the game. We're in the middle of nowhere. This is the final area of the game. Door's locked, so we're not going that way. But yeah, this is the final area in the game. I don't think I have a map for this area. I don't know if you even ever get a map for this area. Kind of makes sense why you wouldn't. And you'll see as we like continue through. I'm gonna switch to my Glock because I've only got 2 rounds of that left, and it's precious. But it'll make sense the more we run through here why a map really wouldn't help.
What happened in this town? What could be making things like this? I have a feeling if I take the elevator down, I'll find it. Cheryl.
Cheryl. Cheryl? Cheryl. She was, the first one possessed in Evil Dead. Spoilers if you've never seen a movie that came out in like the late 70s, early 80s. I recommend seeing it if you like horror. Just be aware that the original Evil Dead is incredibly gory. There's a key in the faucet, but I can't get it out no matter how much I pull on it. Remember this cage? Well, now there's a cage with a key in it, and there's bird sounds. It's locked. The word phalag carved in the door. This is why having a map wouldn't make any sense, because like nowhere I'll explain what it's supposed to represent later, probably once the game is over with. I don't know if this is the final episode. Like, we've got a little ways to go, but it's not like, the end. It's just a wall. There's no hole here. There was a hole here, but it's gone now. Like I was saying, old clock. There's a square hole in the center of the clock. The hands of the clock is a key. I can't get in because it's a glass cover. It's locked. It's locked. The word Ophiel is carved into it. But yeah, was that other door locked? But it's essentially Haggith. It's essentially like, the greatest hits. Here are areas you've been in the previous part of the game. Here's the school. So like having a map wouldn't make any sense, right? Go home. Thief. Drop dead. Well, that's not very nice. Kids, kids these days, they have no respect. Just rude. We got a screwdriver, and we got a pair of pliers. I think the pliers is what we need for that faucet. Yeah, that's what I liked about, what I really like about, especially the first 3 Silent Hills, is like how good they are at symbolism. Where like a lot of later Silent Hills, like especially from the American branch of Konami, I think starting with Homecoming or Origins, it's like they tried symbolism, but their symbolism was very American in the sense that it was like not subtle at all, as opposed to like you know, the Japanese horror symbolism of like very subtle, like almost like if you weren't paying attention, you'd miss it, kind of subtle. Ophiel. So very easy to miss certain things if you're not really paying attention, which I kind of like that because it, you know, requires you to pay attention. Okay. There's a slate. I think I said something about that where it was like, I'll explain that when the time comes. Well, there's a passcode, you know, that makes up. Can't remember if it's here at the end. Yeah. This was just a blank slate, and it says names engraved on a lithograph, the Grim Reaper's list, which I'm reading this from the OBS because it, you know, I turned the brightness up on my screen and it's so bright I can barely read the green. Yes, the head count is set young and old lined up in order of age. Then the pathway opens, awaiting them, the frenzied uproar, the feast of death. So, before I check these other doors, let me just like... So basically what you do is it's like... You take the ages and then you take the first letter and you spell a word, and the word is alert. Albert, Lydia, Edward, Robert, Trevor, you know, ALERT, alert. But let me check these other doors. One of these did I come through? Was it the double door? Double door. Nope, it was this one. It's locked. It's locked. I know how to solve this one too. It's very obscure. This one says 3 or 2. Apologies. 10. And you're kind of like, you might at first be like, what the hell are they talking about? And this one's 0. And then this one over here, I think is 4, right? Yeah. Okay. So what it is, does it even say here or no? Okay, so no, it's like, okay, well, what do they mean? What do they mean by that? And it's like, well, you look at should be 4. Unless they count the tail, but you look at the limbs. So this one's going to be 6 because it's a centaur. Is it called centurion? No, it's not centurion. I don't remember what it's called. And then you've got like Gemini here, and there's like 8 limbs. So the hint is basically like if you were to count limbs. And I think the fish are probably, the Pisces are the ones that are the giveaway because they're 0. Oh great, now there's like a gang. Not interested. Sorry, but I don't eat Girl Scout cookies. Although I will say the peanut butter ones are really, really good. Tag-alongs, is that what they're called? They're really, really good, but the reality of the situation is like, they're not really any different than like Nutter Buddies? Nutter Bars? I can't remember what they're called. Oh, come on, get out of here. Nobody, I told you, I don't want your Girl Scout cookies. The ones that are like, shaped like peanuts, and they got the peanut butter in them, like, they're basically those, so you can get them whenever you want without having to pay a lot of money. And like, whether or not you think it's good to support the Girl Scouts, I don't care. Like, I just, whatever. I mean, I think it's good that there's like an organization for, you know, kids to go and learn and have activities and be able to do things. But, like, you know, I'm not going to buy Girl Scout cookies because I don't really care for most of them anyway. Alert. But like I said, like, it's nothing, nothing morally related or nothing like that. I just don't really care, you know. I do think it's kind of obnoxious that they literally sit outside of grocery stores to try to, like, poach sales. But I'm not gonna, like, I'm not really gonna make a fuss or anything about it. It's whatever. So we had to come over here to get this, and I think we need 5 or 6. See, this is the Amulet of Solomon. We need like 5 or 6 religious relics. Like I said, nothing.
Harry,
Oh, I forgot this was this part.
What's the matter with you?
I get it now. Why I'm still alive even though everyone else is dead. I'm not the only one who's still walking around. I'm the same as them. I just hadn't noticed it before.
Lisa.
Stay by me, Harry. Please. I'm so scared. Help me. Save me from them. Please. Harry?
And she's still like, no, we can still make this work. And he's like, I gotta get out of here.
Lisa.
You know, I don't have an entire encyclopedia knowledge of video game history, but is this like one of the first scenes that are actually like really, like, you know, genuinely sad with the music that's playing and everything? Because, like, Lisa, especially when you find out, like, right here what's going on, like, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, she didn't really deserve what happened. Just got wrapped up in something that she had no business. You know, there was like nothing with that. Once again, I have to look at OBS because that green is so bright. Asked doctor to let me quit being in charge of that patient. It's too weird. Still alive, but with wounds that won't heal. Told the doctor I quit, won't work at the hospital anymore. The room is filled with insects, even with the doors and the windows shut. They get in to spite me to the hospital. Feel bad, need to throw up, but nothing comes out. Vomit, only bile. Blood and pus flow from the bathroom faucet. I try to stop it, but it won't turn off. Need drug. Help me. So she was hooked on the drugs that they were pushing on the tourist. I tried to look at the map. I don't have a map. Door's jammed. But I think we had Haggith, right? Yeah, so we'll learn more about it. Let's see, what floor are we on? Are we on 3? We're gonna go to 2. We'll learn more about it here in a little bit. But like I said, she kind of just got wrapped up in it, in stuff that she had nothing to do with. And it really is one of those situations where, you know, it's very empathetic of like, she just kind of got railroaded. You know what I mean? Crest of Mercury. Rifle shells. There's a really important item we need in here as well. I don't think we can go through this door, can we? The Ring of Contract. That is literally something that if you don't have it, when you try to do whatever the thing is that you need to do, it is an insta-death beginner's trap. Get off me! Get off me! She's gonna get me. I knew it. Wow, like 4 shots took her out. It's unlocked. Don't know if I want to go through there yet. Of course, that might be taking me... Nah, would it take me back to somewhere I've already been? Handgun bullets. The camera. We need the camera for a puzzle. Oh. I was trying to like strategically plan how I was gonna do like get around these two. But like when that one just came up behind me and almost like, you know, swiped my ankle. Would you? I'm getting real tired of you ladies. I know it's a nice cardigan, but like, come on. They don't do damage when they grab you, do they? No, okay. Okay, so this part, we need to unscrew it. But we're on the second floor, but we can't get the key because it's electrified. So we got to turn the power off. It means we got to go to the basement and turn the generator off. And where did this go? To a group fest. Okay, so it's here. Just coming in here to like reset the room, hopefully. Go to Haggith. Because then we can go here and take the elevator. The elevator's not going to be usable. So we're on the first floor. So we didn't go to the third floor then. Elevator won't be usable once we turn the power off. And we need a camera for this. We look up at this. This is the light of the future. Looks like an image straight out of Blasphemous. This one is the light illuminating the darkness. Another image straight out of Blasphemous. But that one actually looks like it's very reminiscent of something in Silent Hill 2. I like Blasphemous. I don't know if I'll ever play it. Just simply because there's like, you know, there's like mild nudity in it. And I don't know if like YouTube is going to pitch a fit about that. I like it a lot better than part 2. I think part 2 is really good, but like at the same time, like part 1's a lot better in my opinion. Okay, so these shapes are relative to this door. You know, so we got to put a little plus sign here. We've got to do like a triangular shape here, and then this one we've got to make like a I don't know, box without a bottom. That unlocks the door. We'll unlock the other door in a second because I don't remember where these go. There's a place mark in the book. White Claudia. A perennial herb found near water, reaches the height of 10 to 15 inches. Oblong leaves, white blossoms. Seeds contain hallucinogenic. Ancient records show it was used for religious ceremonies. The hallucinogenic effect was key. So White Claudia is what they made the drug out of. So everybody, when even straight up from the beginning, they're like really pushing this everyone's on drugs narrative. And I guess like at the end, is this not something I can pick up? And why does it look so like you can read this? I guess I'll give my 2 cents on my interpretation of the story, but what's really good about the first 3 Silent Hills is they're so open to interpretation that it really doesn't matter what I think or what anyone thinks, because there is like a groundwork of like, here are the facts. But it's so open to interpretation that you can kind of go wherever with it. And like I was saying in a previous episode, I don't really like the whole idea of like Silent Hill existing to punish people, because that was only really in part 2, but they really rolled with it afterwards. But I am going to call the video here because it's starting to get kind of long. If you watched the video, I appreciate it. If you watched to this point in the video, I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.